Alright guys, so my audio did not work while I was out of the range, so you're going to hear from me afterwards. So the gloves I got on now are the Magpul 2.0 patrol gloves. They got a faux leather finish for the palm. They're pretty thin, and then they've got a padding on the knuckles. The overall fit and finish of these was really nice. I really do like these. I feel like they would be great long-term gloves. And running in the summer, they weren't too crazy. It was about 95 while I was out shooting, and they were really nice. Kept my grip very well. Never had any slips of any kind. They fit inside a trigger guard of a pistol really well. The only thing that I would change on these gloves is the strap around the wrist. All it is an elastic band to hold tight. There's no kind of actual like strap that has Velcro or anything. And while it is decently tight, I wonder how long that's going to last, being that it's just elastic. But it's a small little concern with these gloves is all. Alright, so these next gloves are the Magpul Patrol gloves. As you're watching right now, I'm struggling to get them on with how tight the elastic wrist strap is. It's the same as the patrol gloves where it's just a solid elastic and no real flexibility to open up. And so you kind of have to stretch them out to get your hands in the first couple of times. After that, it seems to get a lot easier. So again, that has me concerned that over time that it's going to stretch out too much in the long term. I guess we'll have to wait and see what that does. Overall, they've got a more felt style or suede, I guess, on the palm. They're really thin. They've got no padding other than that. They're touchscreen compatible, which is nice for running a camera or a phone while you're on the range. They are extremely form-fitting to your hand, which I really like. That is my favorite part about these gloves, is how form-fitting they are and the ease of use to run everything, pistol, rifle, everything. They are very nice, basically as if they're not even there, which I really do like in a pair of gloves. This pair is the Ironclad Tactical Impact EXO. They are a very well built pair of gloves from everything that I can tell. They've got a lot of padding on the knuckles, they've got a lot of padding on the palm of the hand. They are very large though, is my only issue that I have with them. They do not work, as you're about to see, with my pistol. I cannot get the finger inside the trigger guard unless I jam it in there, and then it's just not gonna work. For running a rifle, I think they'd be just fine, as long as your trigger guard is large enough to fit a more winter style size of glove. But overall, they've got a good build. I mean, I work in construction, so this kind of glove is what I run most of the time, is a heavy padded glove, and for that I really like. But other than that, they are just too big and too bulky for running and gunning, I feel like. These gloves are the LAPG Core Shooting Gloves. Probably the only ones that I have a controversy fight in my brain with about whether or not I will run them. So they fit really well. They're nice and snug, and they have more of a suede style palm with some rubberized grips on the tips of your fingers. They're touchscreen compatible. They've got the Velcro loop wrist strap, which, as I've said before, is my preference for gloves, and they fit really well. They run really well. I have a lot of feeling of everything that I'm touching. I don't feel like there's a lot of bulk on my hands, but the loop on them is basically non-existent. I don't think there's any way to run this on a belt setup or on any kind of clip that I've seen thus far. If somebody else has been running these gloves and has seen something different or something that you can add to them to make it fairly easy to run, let me know. But the loop is, like I said, non-existent, and I can't see myself trying to fight to run these, or even just chucking them in a dump pouch. I prefer to have them on a clip, and I would like to run them that way rather than a dump pouch. So other than that, they are great gloves, and I think for just wearing and not running on a belt setup, they would be just fine. But for my my ideal shooting experience, I'm not going to run them probably. So now we've got pretty much the most noticeable pair of gloves in this list, which are the Mechanics original gloves. These ones are in multicam because they match my setup. They are, if you know Mechanics gloves, you know they're solid. I've got more than one pair of these are sitting around the house. The loops, which I'm a big fan of, are great for running on a belt setup. They've got the very nice Velcro strap around the wrist, and they are thick enough that you know they're going to last, but thin enough that you don't have to worry about it not fitting in your trigger guard or not being able to feel what you're grabbing, because that's a big part of it. If you're trying to grab a couple of rounds and you've got really thick gloves on, you just can't tell what you're grabbing, which I've had those kind of gloves in the past and ended up getting rid of them because they don't work. So these ones are just tried and true. There's no issues with these. I've never had an issue with a pair of Mechanics gloves. I've used them for many different scenarios, both shooting and working in construction and just around the house, yard work, many things. But these are probably my favorite on the list. So funny enough, this very last pair is the pair that I was most excited to get. These ones are the Mechanics 0.5mm high dexterity gloves, and I was very excited to get these because I'm already a big fan of Mechanics gloves, and these ones were a little bit thinner and way more flexible. They got the same nice loop on them, they've got the same nice Velcro strap on them, and I was very excited to run these. But as you'll see in this clip, I could not hold on to my pistol with these gloves on. They are very smooth on the palms. I could not keep a grip on my pistol, to the point where I thought my hand was going to slip in front of the muzzle because of how much my hand was slipping. So I ended up taking these off very quickly and did not run them and will not run them again. They are not the kind of glove I'm working for. Alright guys, we're going to give you a little bit closer look at each of these pairs of gloves just so you can see a little bit closer. So these are the Magpuls. This is the padding I was talking about on the knuckles. They've got the faux leather palm on here, nice big loop, and then the elastic that I was talking about. Like I said, there's no Velcro strap on these, it's just elastic. And the patrol gloves, these ones, were really easy to get on and off. No issues with these at all. These ones are the Magpul Technicals. This is what I was talking about. It's got a little bit larger of an elastic compared to the patrols. But like I said, these ones were a lot tighter the first couple of times. They did take a couple of times to stretch out, and now they go on pretty well now. They've got a nice loop. It's more of a suede material on the palm and everything, but touchscreen compatible, and very nice. These ones are the Tactical Impacts from Ironclad. As you can see here, I mean, just they're very bulky. I don't know why I thought that these might work, but I kind of just wanted to try them out. But they are very bulky, very bulky. That is all padding right there, which is great if you're doing high impact stuff, but not great for shooting. The LAPGs, these are, like I said, suede material. That's the rubberized grip I was talking about on the fingertips. And then this is the loop that I was talking about. I mean, that's my fingertip. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do with that. Honestly, I don't know what you're gonna do with that. Other than that, they were amazing gloves, and probably my favorite on the list, except for that loop, the Mechanics. This is the kind of loop you should have on your gloves, is something like this. They've got that same loop, but they've also got a good loop on here as well. These ones are, I mean, everybody knows Mechanics gloves. They're great. Super nice material, very well built. And then these are the ones that I was the most disappointed in. The high dexterities from Mechanics. Just too smooth, no grip, amazing loop, nice Velcro, but no grip whatsoever. Really disappointed in that. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. I like doing these kind of reviews. It's gear that I'm trying to get myself, and maybe you are too. And I think it's really good information to get out there, because maybe you don't want to buy 6 pairs of gloves to see if they'll work for you or not. I know I didn't really want to, but to get the ones that I want, it was necessary. So I hope you like this kind of content. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, and if you don't, comment what you do want to see. I try and go out to the range as much as I can. Obviously, ammo gets pretty expensive, but I'm out there as much as I can be. So comment what you'd like to see next. Is there some other product that you've been looking at that maybe I can review, and it's something that I've been trying to get, and we'll see what we can do to look at it. So I appreciate everything, guys. I appreciate the support, and I still won't quit my day job.